I say Giants, we have the G-men. Some like to call them the G-boys, as in the gamer boys of New York. What are your overall thoughts on the Giants heading into 2023?
Well, let's talk about how they were in 2022, which was easily the most fraudulent playoff team in the entire playoffs. Never mind the fact, just in the NFC. They had 9 of their 10 wins as one-score games, similar to the Vikings here, except for, the Vikings reached just like 13-4. Doesn't make a lot of sense. The Giants squeaked into the playoffs with Daniel Jones throwing 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, throwing for 3,000 yards. Basically, have your first read. If it doesn't work, just run. That's basically their offense, which that's cute for a year. But once when you go into year 2 and people are like, okay, as long as we can basically contain Daniel Jones' mobility, that's great. They also have Saquon that's holding out. And the way that they addressed their horrible wide receiver room was, okay, let's go out and get Darren Waller. Okay, Darren Waller. I like Darren Waller a lot. But do I think that that solves their issues? No, your number one is still Darius Slayton. They have the worst receiver core in that entire division. This team should not be good.
I agree.
So let's dive into it. Let me do this dive in.
I agree. Let's dive in. I agree with everything you just said there. So we have week 1 versus the Cowboys. If you didn't see our previous video, we went ahead and broke down the Cowboy schedule. So make sure you go ahead and check that out. Had them finishing. Well, you'll have to watch the video, but we have the Cowboys winning that game. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, they're not going to beat the Giants. In fact, I don't think the Giants aren't going to beat the Cowboys or the Eagles. So you can chalk that up as 2 L's right there. You saw how bad they got annihilated by the Eagles last year. They got crushed. Did you watch not just the playoff game, but also the game that they had in Philly prior when they lost 48-20? So I think that's going to happen again. Of course, this team can't score more than 20 points.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
And then, next week we have 2 of the worst teams facing off. We're going to Arizona.
Oh, wow. Early win for the Cardinals. That's crazy. I think the Cardinals will probably win 1 or 2 games.
Okay.
You know what? No, I can't give the Cardinals the win here. Battle of the bad. In this case, it comes down to coaching. Brian Daboll versus Mickey Mouse. Let me pick Brian Daboll.
Okay.
They do get a win here.
Okay, they get a win here, but that doesn't last long because we're going on the road to San Francisco, and you're about to see probably Daniel Jones get outplayed by
Sam Darnold. Man, imagine getting clowned by a guy that sees ghost. That's cringe. 49ers win.
49ers win. Okay. Then we are back to New York after being on the road for 2 weeks on the West Coast to face Seattle.
No. Sorry. Who's gonna guard Jackson Smith and Jigba? Who's gonna guard Tyler Lockett? Who's gonna guard DK Metcalf? Their defense, I mean, their biggest addition this year was Bobby Okereke. God bless his soul. He played with my roommate in college, but that's it. That's how you're gonna stop all this firepower in the NFC. Stop it.
Okay, so we're now 1-3 coming out of Q1.
Sounds right.
Heading into Q2, we start out on the road versus tough stretch, Miami.
Miami, give me a break. Can the Dolphins score more than 20 points? I think so. Can the Giants score 20 points? No. The end.
Okay. Then we're going back to New York, but not in New York. We're going to Buffalo.
Buffalo, please. The Bills, come on. Perennial playoff team. Give me a break.
Okay.
The best of all New York teams, by the way. Just got to say.
Yeah, Josh Allen versus what everyone's calling Daniel Jones Josh Allen light now, which is insane, by the way.
No. Josh Allen light? That's so disrespectful to Josh Allen. I mean, give me a break. The cover of Madden, you're going to compare him to Mayonnaise? Mayonnaise Jones? Give me a break, dude. No.
Mayonnaise Jones. Yeah, the guy can't even run without falling down.
Has no arm.
Then we're finally home in New York, MetLife Stadium, but we're facing off versus the Commanders.
Commanders gets a win here? That's adorable. Good for them. I think they'll probably split with the Commanders. This is at home. I don't know why I see them winning on the road with the Commanders. Give me the Commanders to win this one.
Okay, yeah, those were some pretty hefty games back and forth last year with the Commanders, and now we have Bieniemy actually running the offense. And then we're staying at home, but is it really a home game when you have Aaron Rodgers coming to town?
This is when I think the Jets are going to start coming into their own. I had them going 10-7 in our preview. I think that this is a game where, Battle of New York For most of their time, it's been the Giants that have been the big attraction with the Eli Mannings of the world. But now, Aaron Rodgers says, "Hell no." 1-7 it is.
The crazy thing is, all the teams we picked over them, besides like the exception of the Commanders, like I really only see 2 wins here as well. Because like all of these teams are better than them.
Yeah, I mean the Giants were 10-7-1, and their point differential was -26.
Yeah. But like we're halfway through the season, they're 1-7, but it's like besides the Cardinals, Commanders, the Dolphins, yeah, Bills, yeah, Seahawks, yeah, Cowboys, yeah.
They have a tough schedule.
Yeah, that's a really hard schedule.
And like, let's look at the last this year. Stop it.
Okay, so Giants, one of the hardest starts to the year of any football team, but it gets easier even though we have to go on the road. Going on the road to face the Raiders with potentially Jimmy Garoppolo, potentially Tom Brady.
Raiders have more talent. Honestly, they really do. I mean, Devontae Adams, you're not going to be able to stop Devontae Adams. Josh Jacobs, he's better. Also, where's Saquon at this point?
He's holding out.
Saquon's holding out. He might also, hate to say it, he might be hurt. Who knows? Injuries are a big thing, but the Raiders, they have a better receiver core. They have, if Jimmy Garoppolo is playing, a better quarterback. They have better talent on defense. Can anybody stop Max Crosby? Can anybody stop Chandler Jones?
No.
That's not crazy. Raiders win.
Raiders win. Okay. Just win, baby. And then we're going on the road again to face Dallas on that's not Thanksgiving, no. Just the game of the week.
Well, you saw my Cowboys preview, and you know that I'm extremely low on the Giants.
Are you?
Hopefully the Giants can score a touchdown in this game, but I'm picking the Cowboys.
Yeah. Yeah, like even if Saquon's like hurt, how do you score if you're the Giants? I don't understand.
It's extremely Saquon centric. If Saquon's not playing, they don't have an offense.
Yeah.
It's going to be a disaster.
Okay. Yeah, so we had the Raiders, Cowboys, and then on the road versus the Commanders. You had the Commanders winning that.
I had them splitting, so I think they can beat the Commanders once. So give me them splitting. They actually did get a win here.
Okay. And then right after that, back home in New York versus New England, Mac Jones with potentially DeAndre Hopkins now.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have this high insight before, but again, it's like it's the battle of the coaching. I still pick Bill. You don't think Bill Belichick, one of the greatest defensive minds, if not the greatest defensive mind in history, said, okay, here's what we're going to do, guys. We're just not going to let Daniel Jones run on us. Because if he has to throw, Christian Gonzalez is there, Jack Jones is there.
Yeah.
Their secondary, they still have a number of talents there. No chance. The Patriots destroy them.
Yeah. Words of wisdom from Rick Jameson. Make Daniel Jones make more than one read, and you'll do very well against the Giants this year.
Yeah. He'll wet his pants against Bill Belichick, like so many quarterbacks have in the past.
Yeah. And then we're staying at home, 2-game homestand here versus the Packers.
Packers? No, not even the Packers. Honestly, no. The Packers, better run organization the last decade. Jordan Love, while I don't think he's going to be magnificent, I still think the Packers are a better team than the Giants. They have a better defense. They have weapons that are a little bit more exciting to me. I'd rather have Christian Watson than anybody on that team. And then running backs. I mean, I do like Saquon, but again, I don't know where Saquon is at this point. Maybe he gets a contract, maybe he doesn't.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones, I like Aaron Jones a heck of a lot more. So
AJ Dillon, it's like
AJ?
the combo of running backs. It's still they have a better committee.
Yeah, exactly. So I have the Packers winning this game.
Yeah, we have Coach Eyebrows too.
Yeah.
And then after the Packers, we're going on the road to face the new look New Orleans Saints with Derek Carr.
Yeah, I still got to pick the Saints here. The Saints have a better defense. They have a better quarterback at this point. Their weapons with Chris Olave. Maybe Mike Thomas has an appearance here as well. Seems like he's 100%. So maybe he can play. So I have the Saints.
And then last year they lost to this team 44 to whatever the Giants scored at home or on the road versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
No.
On Christmas.
No chance. No. Well, guess what? Jalen Hurts is about to take their toys, steal their stockings, eat their milk, and fucking shit on the floor. And that's going to be their Christmas against Philadelphia.
Okay. So we're 2-13 now.
Oh, good.
And then
Just in time to be in the conversation for the Caleb Williams sweepstakes.
Stetson Bennett is now playing for the Rams on
Oh.
New Year's Eve
No chance they beat the Rams.
at home versus the Rams. Okay. So 2-14. Let's see if we can finish it off with a 2-15 record. We go. Oh, it's versus the Eagles. Yeah. At home versus the Eagles.
They face them again?
Yeah, in week 17.
Oh.
Yeah, and like the last 3 weeks they faced the Eagles twice.
Damn. Yeah, no. They can't. They can't do it.
Oh.
No chance. So that means I have them going 2-15. Maybe they win another game in there. I think 3-14 is probably more like it. But this is a team that historically, the last decade has been terrible. I love Brian Daboll. I think he's a great coach, but your offensive line's a question. Your receivers are one of the worst in the league. Your tight ends, that's great. You got Darren Waller, but who else are you going to throw it to? Honestly. And then you have the Saquon controversy. The offense is very Saquon-centric. If Saquon's not there, good luck. And then you have that scrub behind center at Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life. That's great that he can run. What else? Because if they can continue running, what do you got?
Yeah.
He's not very accurate. He doesn't have a strong arm. And then their defense. Like, I love Kayvon Thibodeau, but outside of that, who else is on their team? You need to do more than just Kayvon Thibodeau. Like, we need to have more action here. This is a team that last year got very lucky, had a lot of one-score games, and a lot of them went their way. Very much Vikings story here, which is ironic that they met in the playoffs, hilariously enough. But it's like, how can I have any faith in this team when this team had a fraudulent 22-23 season, and now maybe 2-15 is a little harsh, but I still don't see them winning any more than 4 games this year.
Yeah. I think it's fair because, like, you can hate on it all you want, but the Giants can't score. Russell Wilson had more touchdowns than Daniel Jones. Saquon Barkley is probably going to hold out. Darren Waller is the solution to your wide receiver core, and you still have Darius Slayton. And you know why you can't have good receivers? Because you paid Daniel Jones. So, like, all of this is fair. Like, the fact that you're going to have this awful, shit, terrible year, you put on an absolute clinic explaining everything wrong with the Giants. But the thing you forgot to say is you have Daniel Jones on this team. You have Josh Allen Light, which is insulting on the face of it. You have a guy who can't make more than one read, and you gave him a bag.
Imagine paying him $40 million a year.
It's insane.
That's a crime. That should be they should be tested for war crimes here.
Yeah.
Now, the worst thing that could happen for me, in my opinion, would be if they somehow, some way, had the worst record in the league, which it won't because the Cardinals won't win a game. But if that was the case, the chance of Caleb Williams going to New York, playing for the Giants, that makes me want to throw up in my mouth.